Well, good morning my friends and happy Sunday. It is the 8th today and I hope you're doing well. I didn't vlog yesterday. I took the day off. I wasn't really doing anything very exciting. Just had a lazy day at home and I'm like, I'm not going to vlog this. It's not very exciting. So I didn't. But we're back at it today. It's just been a really quiet, lazy Sunday morning. I'm back at the puzzle and we're getting there, I think, slowly, very, very slowly. It's definitely doable, but it's gonna take us a while. The way that I'm sort of attacking this is I'm just you know, sifting through pieces until I find one that kind of grabs my interest or looks like part of a section that I'm kind of focusing on, and I'll just see if it works, and if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it goes back in and I keep going. At the moment, that's kind of the best way to tackle it. We are collating particular sort of sections in our little dish here, you know, just like sections that are really quite obvious, but we're not quite ready for that. But apart from that, it's just having the patience just to sift through each one and see what works, and yeah, just keep going until it all fills in. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's a different way to maybe attack puzzles, but I'm pretty happy with what we're doing. I mean, the outline's all done and we've got certain sections that we can sort of branch off from, but we just gotta be patient. That's the name of the game in so many matters of life at the moment. So here's the progress so far. We got our outline, and then yeah, these are all of our little bits that we're kind of branching off from. We'll get there, we'll get there. And when they call this a challenge puzzle, I mean, they're not wrong. That's all I got to say. It is a little bit later on in the day and it's really chilly today. It's like really like cloudy and rainy and just cold. You guys like it when I tell you what temperature it is, so I will let you know. In my area, it is currently 13.7 degrees. Feels like 13.6. Oh, 0.1 of a difference. So yeah, it's cold. And because it's been raining, it's even more chillier. So it's the perfect afternoon to do some sewing. Of course, I'm going to make some more Nightingale blocks. The colours I've chosen for this block, we will of course be having the little spotty fabric for the crosses. And then the centre colour, I'm going to do this homespun. This is in the colour Coral in the Prima Homespun at Spotlight. And then we're going to pair it with this one. This is a silver Prima Homespun, and then the white background. So it's going to be pretty intense, I think. I've also decided, I think, to add another colour. So I initially brought some of this green, but when I had all of the colours together, I'm like, it doesn't really quite work. But now that I've, excuse me, thank you. But now that I'm sort of starting to sew it all together and stuff, I feel like we need another colour. So this is my backup colour. This is again in the Prima Homespun from Spotlight, and it is in the colour Green Tea. So again, it's kind of on that pastel kind of vibe. I know that this coral colour is pastel. Geez, that looks so bright on the camera, but in real life it's not as intense. But yeah, I think this might work. It's gonna sort of take it in a whole other direction, but I think I might add this one. I'm putting it on the sidelines, so if I feel like I need to add another colour, then this is it. But anyway, enough jabbering on. Let's make this block. I'm excited. I think it's gonna look really great. is finished. I'm on the fence with this one. I'm not sure whether it works. I think it might be too bright. What do you think? Be honest. I mean, it looks okay, but I'm not sure. Pop it up on the design wall and we'll see it all together. What do we think? I think it could work. It's really bright on the camera. Like it's really like almost fluoro, but it doesn't look like that in real life, but it is still quite bright. I'm thinking it might sort of tone down a bit once I start putting more blocks around it, but yeah, that one's got a question mark on it. We'll have to see. I am going to make one more. I'm going to try out this green tea solid and I'm going to pair it with the pink. This one here is called Musk. It's the same fabric I used for this one here. And then with the little spot here and then the white. So that's our colours for the next block. I think that one's actually going to look really nice. So I'm actually going to put this one next to this real bright one to see if it sort of just like mellows it out a bit. So, oh, I dropped something. So let's get that started and we'll see what it looks like. And I got to tell you, while I'm sewing, I am throwing it way back and listening to a playlist of the Spice Girls on Spotify, and I am absolutely loving it. I was a huge Spice Girl fan when I was 10, 11, 12. I was definitely in the later stages of primary school, and I haven't listened to Spice Girls in a very long time, and I still know every single word. How does that happen? How is there room in my brain to remember all of these songs? It's crazy. I'm just standing here, I'm just singing them. I'm like, how do I remember this? I'm really loving it. Like, some of these songs are just bringing back so many great memories. And yeah, just bangers. I love it. Anyway, I thought I'd share that because I love listening to music while I'm sewing. And the sweet nostalgia of listening to the Spice Girls is just everything today. So yeah. Well, this block I think could be one of my favorites. I think it looks really pretty. Ta-da! How sweet are these colors together? I think it looks really nice. So let's pop it up on the wall next to this nice bright block and see what it looks like. Okay, so there are our 5 blocks up on the wall. I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I don't know. It's kind of turning out a little bit different to what I had in my mind's eye. I think I was wanting it to be more pastel sort of like vibes, but by adding some of the really deeper colors, especially this deeper brown, like the cinnamon, this really bright coral, and then the green, I don't know, it's just not grabbing me. And yeah, just not what I envisaged, so I'm torn. But I don't hate it, that's the thing. Like, it's just colours that is just very much me. Like, I love just putting lots of colour in the quilts that I make, so that's why I don't hate it. But it's not matching up to the image that I had in my head that I thought it was going to look like. But anyway, I'm going to just keep going with it and see how it works out. I mean, I can always scrap the blocks that just don't work and just do more pastel colours, maybe just cull some colours and just make it a little bit more of a selected colour palette. That's another thing that I can think of. We're just going to mull it over for the next couple of days, I think. Just keep coming back and looking and seeing what I think. But I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. Although up at this moment, lockdown is getting tedious. It's very much Groundhog Day every day. I'm really enjoying the chance that I'm getting to just sew every day and just reconnect with doing this hobby that I love, and yeah, that just brings me lots of joy. So I'm trying to look at it from that angle and just be really grateful for the time that's been given to me to sew and to really reconnect with my beautiful sewing machine. And I have to say, I am so in love with my sewing machine. It's taken me quite a while to really kind of like bond with her, but I love it. I love this sewing machine. It just goes and goes and goes. I mean, it does have its flaws. Like, I don't like that I don't know when the bobbin runs out, so I need to always be quite conscious of that. Sometimes the way that the thread is exposed on the front of the machine, it can sometimes unravel, and that's annoying. The power and the speed and the size and the throat space and the stitch, it makes such a beautiful straight stitch. I mean, you'd think it would because it's just a straight stitch machine, but yeah, I just have to say I just love it. I highly recommend this machine if you're looking for just a basic straight stitch machine. That's all this machine does, is just straight stitch. I chose that because that's the only stitch that I use, but I have my other machines to do more fancier stitches. But yeah, I just love it. She just goes and goes and goes and doesn't muck up. She doesn't say no. She just does what I want her to. So that was just a nice spontaneous favourite for you. I'd be lost without my sewing machine. She just brings me so much happiness.